Hi, this is just a quick email to explore um, the different parts of the Canadian Lakes Loon Survey form. So, first, we'll get into the Canadian Lakes Loon Survey project. And there are many ways to do this. I usually recommend the volunteer portal, but here's another one that also works. So, Canadian Lakes Loon Survey. All right, next we are going to sign in. And once you're signed in, you're going to see it says welcome. And if you go on down, it says this. Now, I am doing this on a browser because I do not recommend looking for your lake type on a phone. It's just too small. It's going to be really frustrating. But we'll go down and then we'll choose submit your data. And it takes us to this website here. First, it says select an existing data form you created for the current year. And I have several already, but this time we're going to say we're going to do Lake Superior. So we're creating a new data form. Um, and also, we should look and see, is there any other lakes associated with me? And you're going to see it's a lot, and that's because I'm in the program coordinator. Most people won't have that many. So we're going to sit there and say, oh boy, this particular Lake Superior, which is in, we're going to say it's in New Brunswick, is not in the system. So we are going to find it. So what do we do next is we walk through the steps of adding a lake or section. So we go to add a lake or section, and step one is if you read the information here, it says decide if you are already associated with this lake. Don't worry about the second section yet. Just think about the lake. So we just go through the lakes, and the ones here that have the gaps, it means that it was something you did last year that has not been finalized. And that's just the reality is sometimes the data is a little slower than we had hoped to get finalized. But for now, we're going to assume we're going to take a look at the list and we're going to see what's out there and what routes are there and if any of these are the ones we're seeing. We're seeing Erie, we're seeing Cranberry, we're seeing lots of choices, but we're not seeing um, Superior. So the next thing is, what if you know it's a lake like Georgia Bay, but you know it's a different section? You think it was 72, the section that you did last year. And if it's the exact same section you did last year, and that's the only one that comes up for you, choose that one. Okay? Um, so um, that will be in your drop down. So you don't want to click on it again. You want to only click on that if that's not the section you want, because that link itself will be in your drop down. So say you want to add a new section, you do that if you know that it's not 72. But how can you be certain with a lake that it isn't a section that already exists? And what you can do is you can go up here and find an existing lake. So we're going to do this and we're going to choose, well, like I said, let's do Superior and see what comes up here. So Superior. Now if we look at Superior just like that in search, it's going to tell you must select a province. And if you don't see that little bit showing up saying you have to select a province or something, that's a feature with your computer. So we have to put in a province. So let's start with Ontario. We know there's Ontario Lake Superior. And what do we have here? So we'll search for Lake Superior. And it takes its sweet time. And it says there's 27 existing surveys areas. That means there's 27 lake sections available. But here, isn't this interesting? All those points. So this one here is going to be a different Lake Superior. And you notice that we don't search on lake, we just search on Superior. And some of these other ones may very well be different Lake Superiors as well, like this one here. That's obviously not a Lake Superior. So you'd have to go in and you'd have to look and sit there and think, well, is this the right one? And you can go through the list and see if any of them make sense. It should be fairly easy to see if any of these are the right ones, but double check. Like if it's even close and you think it is, choose that one. If upon review later we decide that it's not the same, it's much easier for us to add a section and move your data over than it is for us to decide if it's if it's a section that needs to be deleted, because we tends to blow things up if we have to delete sections. So you can look through the list and you can say, huh, nope, none of these are mine. So what's next? So if none of these sections are yours, you would add a new section. And when you do that, it says it's put it in the form system. So now you know you added a section to Lake Superior. So you're going to want to go down and find your Lake Superior here. All right. Then you go into part 2 and you say Superior. We do not put lake in front of that. It's an old way of doing it. But the whole system is set up like that. So it's a good habit to get yourself into. Because if you start putting Lake Superior in front of that and it's not in the form, it just won't show up. And then we're going to call this Kathy's test. Can be reused or deleted. All right, and that's just for our reference on this side so that we know what to do. And then you go through and you go to the next page. And that form's all ready to go. It's got this information in there and the part information here. And if we go to the home page, something to keep an eye on is it's going to show up here as superior, but it's not going to give you the section. Same thing here. It's going to give you superior, but it won't give you the section. There'll be superior in there somewhere. I can promise you that. It's just I've got so many it's hard to find. All right. So what happens if it's not in that? So we're going to go back to an add lake superior lake section, and we know it's not in 1. So say we don't think it's in 2 and it's not a existing section, but we can check that again. Say we're looking for a superior that's in New Brunswick now. So we put superior in there, and then we look up New Brunswick and search. And it says here there was no lakes that matched. So perhaps the name is wrong. So you spell it a little bit different to be just right. And there's still no lakes to match. So maybe put sup in there. Maybe somebody spelled it with an extra P inadvertently, or maybe it's in a different language originally. And you search on that, and there's still nothing. So you can say with confidence, oh, what did it do there? I didn't find it. Okay, so you can say with confidence that it was not there. So next thing you do is you go to step 3 and you add a lake. And here you go, superior, create a new lake. All right. Now, then you're back at this form. So you have to go down and you got to find that latest superior. And I'm assuming it's right at the bottom what it is. And you choose that superior. And then it puts you automatically into the form. And then what you absolutely need to do next is tell us, this is Superior Lake, Superior Lake, and say, Kate, and you're doing the entire lake. We're going to say we're going to do, the section is going to be the entire section, because we're doing surveying the entire lake. And then we're going to say enough about the information here that we can find it later. So we want to say New Brunswick. We're going to say it's in Cape Breton. We don't know, and then we're going to say down here, we don't know what the township is. We're going to say it's 50 kilometers from Dior, and I'm just using that because it's the only name I can remember right now in the Cape Breton area. And then we go from there. I'm also going to put up here dummy test lake can be reused, so we can get rid of it. So we have all that information in there, and we can go here and we can find it. So where is the right part of Canada to start with? Cape Breton. This is Dior. No idea if this is far enough. We're going to pick this little wee lake here. Okay, does it have a name? It does. Let's pick one that doesn't have a name. This one here. All right. And we'll say that's our lake. and then we say next part. If you go next part or previous part, it saves it. And then you're all set up. And if you go back to the home page, you will see that that form for you is all set up. Now you're going to have to remember which, if you're doing more than one period, more than one section, you're going to have to write down which is which to keep track of that for yourself. And that's it for now.